Hi gardeners, this ought to be called the Scruffy Gardener channel because I've been working and sweating already today. But this is the August tour and wanted to show you what the height of summer is looking like in the garden. First of all, we're continuing with our harvest of shallots. Some nice sized shallots, nice and purple. These will be wonderful for cooking. We've already had a few and we've sold a few. And we're now getting very good squash. This one over hurricaned itself. These are the sweeter, smaller size that we like. But this will be nice in a pressure cooker, cooked maybe with other things for a side dish. Beans are pretty mild on the harvest, if that's a nice way of putting it. We have some new plants coming up and I'll show them in just a second. Here you see we have a wonderful harvest of grape tomatoes. They're loving the heat and they didn't mind the storm too much. We picked before the storm and now we're picking after. Here are our Boxcar Willie heirloom tomatoes. These are a lot larger than last year and we are taking them right at the beginning of color change because birds and insects really decimated the crop, about a third of it last year. So picking with some color like this, and then we'll finish the ripening process indoors. So we've got a lot of very good, almost 1 pound tomatoes here. We're going to have a nice job over the next few weeks ripening those indoors. All right, I will show you the rest of the garden, the good, the bads, and the uglies. We'll start here in infamous bed 1. This is our spaghetti squash, and we have lost a couple to vine boring beetles, which is why we have broken organic for this and put Sevin dust, that's S-E-V-I-N, right at the bases to kill vine borers so that we don't lose any more plants. Rather than write it off, we want to give these little squash that are just beginning to show themselves. There's another. Can you see him? There he is. There's another there. So that's 3. This one is the most mature right here. So we've got about a 4 small spaghetti squash. There's a 5th, just saw him. Right there on the end. So we now have some spaghetti squash cooking up. Bed 2. This is our divider for the beans that we are saving for seed, these first 5 plants. As you can see, these will have, that has about 6 beans in it. And these are still trying to produce. Last leg, this is first generation here. This is the second generation, just beginning to bring production online. As you can see, right in there. That got blown down by the hurricane. Beans are notorious about looking bad until they come back to life. We'll see how he goes. Bed 3 beans. Same problem. These older plants are coming to the end of their life, so these will probably be the last crops that we get off of them. But we have others that are in full harvest right now. So you can see there's some good fruit there. We have young plants here, that's 4 more, and if you look very closely, there's the next gen. These will mature about the beginning of September, and we'll hope to get a few harvests. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So the next generation is already working. That'll be toward the end of the season, we understand, but we will keep growing them until nature tells us that it's time to stop. Here's the last of our shallots, and as you can see, we still have some very nice big ones. Starting to brown on the tops. This one could be harvested. A beautiful shallot there, medium size. It'll be wonderful in a dish any day. These are very purple but small. We'll let them go for another few days. They'll show us whether or not they want to keep on going or not. Our grape tomatoes have been fantastic this year. Just color everywhere. This is after harvest. This black creme has just gotten color in it today. We might harvest that one. And over here are boxcar willies. Really good production right now. As you can see, look at all these. There is some bug damage, as you can see, and that one probably needs to go. I'll have to cut him off, but he's got some bug damage on him. Too bad, he's a big one. All of these will be picked early and then ripened indoors. And if you look underneath here, another beautiful one. There he is. We just harvested off our summer squash, as you saw those three. But we still have one more. Here he is over this side. So summer squash really are loving the summer. We've been in the mid-90s with high humidity here, and that is perfect for tomatoes and squash. And speaking of the champion, returning our butternut squash, the world champion. This was the product of a saved seed from last year's crop. One plant, 140 pounds of squash. And as you can see, there are plants, there are fruit all underneath there. We have 19 fruit on this one plant. There's probably 2 of the most mature right there. Beginning to color up nicely, should be done in a few weeks. But you can already see that they're already in the 3-pound range and will get bigger. Here's more in that same range. Just a bumper crop. This is one plant. Every time we look, we go, oh, a new one. And here are some of the more new ones here. That's new. Yin and yang here are new. This is new, the flower's still on. There's another one, just came up, and that one. We have a lot of good pollinators out here, so we're really happy with the results so far. I'm going to take a brief look at the compost bin. The active bin is right here, bin 3. And the thermometer shows the temperature at about 125 degrees. Now, depending on where we measure, we'll get different results. Move the thermometer, and here you can see it's actually going up just a degree or 2. So we're in the high active zone on this. This was in the 135 to 140 range before the hurricane hit. And of course, wind-driven rain will slow things down a bit here, but we're very happy to have it in this active range. This is the pile that Brad turned a video or 2 ago. We keep the old piece of cardboard on top to help minimize evaporation. And here you can see the temperature has fallen a little bit. It's about 114 going down still. But 114 is well within the active zone, so that means turning it has brought the temperature up a few degrees, and that'll create the finished product that we need. So now bed 1's empty, and we'll be getting more grass later today, so we'll start topping off bed 3 for the next week or two before we close it out and start up with 1 again. All right, folks, that's the garden right now. As you can see, only 1 bed is inactive, and this bed is waiting for the fall vegetables such as spinach and lettuces, and we're going to clear out this one right here. This is bed 6, where we had Kennebec potatoes and a few of our home-saved Yukon Golds. So we've got a lot of heavy produce. We'll get a lot of good results in terms of pounds, and we love butternut squash for the nutrition and the winter storage that it provides. We're going to have record-breaking tomatoes, and I think we will have good steady beans. Won't break any records like last year, but we'll have a good steady crop. And there's always something new, the spaghetti squash. All right, thanks for putting up with my hot sweatiness. Remember, you can grow your own food.